For your goals to have a long-term positive impact, they have to include goals in virtually every area of your life. I'm always amazed at who hasn't looked at basic goal setting and done that in every area of their life. You need goals in your career. Everyone needs career goals. Everyone needs financial goals. Personal financial goals. Your business needs financial goals. You need spiritual goals. You need physical goals, intellectual goals. You need family goals, and you need social goals. Written. You need a goal in all of these areas. Now, here's what normally happens with most of us. Now, Zig Ziglar taught this for years, and he called it the wheel of life. As a matter of fact, to this day, if you go to Ziglar.com and you see the wheel of life, you'll see the financial spoke is provided by our organization. Because we've been good friends with Zig before he passed away, and with Tom, his son, Jean, Zig's wife, his widow, and we still interact with that organization. We think they're awesome people, and so this has been taught for years. Tracy taught this. Everybody that I've ever seen teaches goal setting, teaches this wheel and these spokes on this wheel. And what Zig used to say, and I love the saying, he says, everyone has a strength area and everybody has a weakness area. And if you don't work on your weakness area, at least to keep it somewhat strong, basically, you end up with one side of the wheel flat, and you have a flat tire. And you drive a car at 70 miles an hour with a flat tire. It's dangerous, it makes a lot of noise, and it's inefficient. Blum, 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 blum. And your life starts sounding like that and feeling like it's full of vibration. It's unhealthy. And the deal is, you're going to do all of these, or you're going to reap negative things called consequences in every one of these areas. You have to do them.
One of the things you can be virtually certain of in life is that you don't get something you don't aim at. And one of the things that's interesting about that is often people will keep their goals fuzzy. Because one of the problems with specifying your goals is you specify your failures. Right? If the goal is really fuzzy, you're not sure when you fail, and then you can fool yourself. You know, really, but you can kind of keep it foggy. But you make your goals sharp and clear, then, well, first of all, then you know what to aim at. And what's interesting is, your brain is set up so that it reorganizes the world around your aims. And that's not, I've also written about this in 12 Rules for Life quite extensively, and that's not a metaphor. Like, we don't see much of the world, because there's a lot of the world and there isn't much of us. And so we see what we aim at, we aim with our eyes. And here's an example. So, like, great apes don't really have much of a white in their eyes, but human beings do. And the reason for that is that we've evolved to detect where everyone else is looking. And so if I can't tell where you're looking, I don't know what you're up to. And then, well, over time, that means I can't read you as well, and we're more likely to get in a dispute, and one or the other of us is more likely to get killed. But it also means that your probability of finding a successful mate decreases. So we've evolved to have this very, very visually evident eye. And so when we're looking at each other, we're always looking at our eyes, because then we can tell where someone is pointed, and then we can tell what they're up to. And so we're hunting creatures, like we're aiming at a moving target and trying to track it all the time. And so you have to specify your aim.
The next step in creating an action plan is making a list of everything that you could possibly think of that you will have to do to achieve your goal. After having a written goal, one of the things that holds people back is not taking the time to lay out a list of all the little things they will have to do to get there. Identify the obstacles that you will have to overcome. Identify the knowledge, information, and skills you will need, and then identify the people whose help and cooperation you will require to achieve your goal. The more comprehensive your list, the more motivated you will become. The more intense will be your desire, and the more you will believe it is possible. Combine all these things into a plan organized by priority and sequence. Priority is what is more important and less important. Sequence is what you have to do before you do something else, and in what order. List every single step that you can think of that you will have to follow. As you think of new items, add them to your list. The 80-20 rule says that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your activities. The 20-80 rule says that the first 20% of time that you spend planning your goal and organize your plan will be worth 80% of the time and effort required to achieve the goal.
And I want you to understand that every thought you think and every word you say is a blueprint that your mind, body, and psyche must make real. So when you write out your goals, don't say, I wish I could be rich. I long to be in a loving relationship. Write it as if it's already happening. I am a millionaire. I am in a loving relationship. You might go, well, that doesn't make sense. It does make sense because your mind only works in the present tense. When you say next year I'll have a bikini body, it doesn't know what next year is. And so you must write your goals in the present tense. I am, I always, I have, I do. You must use words that make a picture. I want more money. Well, you can find 10 cents or $1. But you have to say, not I want more money. I am making a phenomenal amount of money. I am making $1 million because I monetize a gift I have, or I make $10 million a year because I monetize a skill. Then you have to make it detailed. You have to give your mind an image to go towards. What you want wants you. What you are moving towards is moving towards you, but you must have an image.
So strategy number 2 is this. You want to schedule the time and the place that you're going to take action and have a backup plan. So check this out, y'all. Dr. Heidi Grant Halverson, who's a social psychologist who actually studies goal setting and motivation, found this. Deciding in advance where and when you're going to take specific actions to reach your goal can actually double or triple your chances for success. Did you hear that? You can double or triple your chances for success in achieving your goals. I don't know about you, but I like those odds, don't you? Now, one of the things I've shared with my B-Schoolers for years is this. If it's not scheduled, it's not real. So I need you to make sure that you schedule time in your calendar to take action towards your goals and also include where you're going to do it. So for example, let's say it's a workout, right? Schedule the time you're actually going to work out, plus put in the place. Are you going to do it at the gym? You're going to do it in your living room? You're going to do it in your local park? Doesn't matter. Just put it down. And if you really want to dial up your chances for success, do this. Make a contingency plan too. What does that mean? It means you actually think ahead and you plan for problems or setbacks that you already know could throw you off track, and then you solve for them in advance.
It's easy to pull things back. It's very hard to ramp things up. And I'd rather start with something that's too big and pull it back into reality than start with something that's so easy that you can't really get it up. For example, don't set your goals realistically, set them entirely unrealistically. I mean, shoot for 80 and be disappointed when you hit 70, as opposed to shooting for 20 and being ecstatic when you hit 21. We beat our goal. Yeah, but it was a very low goal. I think to be frustrated and achieving something rather than ecstatic and achieving less is a better way to live. Mm-hmm. Not to mention you achieve more. I'm a great believer in that the greater good, like those things are like so big, they're ridiculous. I mean, my goal is a 100-year goal is called world peace. So daunting, but that's the idea. If I fail, and I certainly won't achieve it in my lifetime, I like to think that what I'll contribute towards that ridiculous, idealistic, nonsense goal will be more than if I say, if I can just be happy by myself in my little house,
Right.
I mean, that's nice and all, but
That's good.
I like the idea of contributing to your neighbor as well.
Invest in yourself and grow daily by subscribing to Driven.